The Hopeless Fan Podcast. It's Scotty. It's Zach. Shelby is in Fort Recovery, trying to recover from these losses.
Stays taking out.
We just had a barn burner of a Thursday night game.
I thought it was going to be more exciting than what it was.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Bad night to be
I wouldn't say it's exciting. Yeah. I don't think it was exciting, but it was interesting. But not interesting enough to talk about it more than the double punt.
My bookie.
And spread drama with a missed extra point. Depending on what lines you got. I mean, if you took the original lines of just, under and Rams minus 2.5, then you're looking good. Other than that,
my bookie to me, don't you feel a little ashamed? Don't you feel a little stupid?
Stupid? Yeah.
Fuck. No, not good. I'm in a hole. Let's just.
I'm just saying, after the first 3 weeks that we had betting,
yeah,
it was bound to come crashing down at some point.
Yeah.
Bad beat on the Russell Wilson over completions with him getting injured. Also, we were so hyped up that
I put money on the Seahawks.
That the running back for Seattle, Carson, was injured. We were like, Russell's going to throw all night.
Yeah.
And then by fate, he jams his finger. So
almost halfway to the line, he jams his finger, and that you knew they were going to have to throw.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Geno would have been close. I think combined pass attempts, and Geno got to 33, so that would have been a bad beat if Russell.
Oh, it was just 33. Okay, well that makes me feel a little bit better.
But I also had the yards, and 150 plus 130 is 280, and it was at 277. So I could have used that. That's for sure. Could have used it.
Well, to stop the bleeding, you had some Robert Woods props over on yards and receptions. To stop my bleeding, I had a live bullet of Detroit minus 5.5.
It's like putting a Band-Aid over heart disease. It's like it's not going to do anything, but I mean, it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it's like when you weigh, like if you're like one of those my 600-pound life, and you're like, I switched to drinking diet sodies. You have solved the problem. So we will put that behind us, just like Urban Meyer is putting behind some shenanigans, and his wife is putting Twitter behind her. We will move on.
Is she?
She's
off Twitter now?
Yeah, she deleted Twitter. I mean, we sent it in the picture earlier. Shelby talked about it.
Wow.
It's a grind out here, as Shelby would say.
Yeah.
So we will move on to Boardwalk, a loaded slate. We have for us this week, we have Miami at Tampa, Tennessee at Jacksonville, Green Bay at Cincinnati, Giants at Dallas, San Francisco at Arizona.
No.
Yes.
New York is playing
Buffalo.
in Dallas, I thought.
That's what I said. Giants at Dallas.
No, I thought you said it in. Okay, whatever.
Nope. It's okay. San Francisco at Arizona, Buffalo at Kansas City. We have our bonus and lock. We have the lock of the week of the century, which is on live support, much like our betting accounts. Tease and thank you, which is the opposite of me, undefeated, and Scotty's party parlay, which is searching for its first win, but who's going to blame it for not?
Right, I'm in a great situation when it comes to party parlays. And by the way,
because they're going to hit at some point, and it'll make up for everything.
Yeah, I'll get into it when I finally get there.
So let's just kick off with our first game. Hopefully we do better than Matt Gay, because he kicked 2 out of bounds, or Hecker's their kickoff person. I don't know. Who cares?
It is Matt Gay.
Lame attempt. All right, so let's go with Miami at Tampa Bay. Spread is at 10 when we wrote these down. Over under set at 48. Scotty, what you got?
I'm going to go with the over 48. I think Tampa Bay might cover the 10. But I'm more confident in just kind of a lot of garbage time. Tampa Bay had to play in that gross rain game last week. I think that it's the they weren't able to air it out really. So I think that this is the game that Tom Brady goes for maybe 4 touchdowns, and Brissett gets a touchdown or 2, and it goes over 48.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Tampa Bay defense has looked kind of sus. They let Mac Jones throw all over them. And I maybe gave. Maybe Tom Brady was like, you know what? this is conspiracy stuff, but Tom Brady goes in. He's like, you know what? This city's been good to me. Hey, Bruce, lay off with the defense. Let Mac Jones feel good. Let the city feel good that they have a future in him.
That's what he said to the coach?
Even though they don't because he's trash. You know what? You can't prove that he didn't say that. Yeah. So,
it just feels like that 1 o'clock games that everyone forgets about, and Brady just goes off, and it's like the overhit easily.
He's got to get back on track at some point, right? He's the GOAT after all. And I feel like over his career, he kind of owns the city of Miami.
East.
He owns that city down there. And
I remember my first year watching football, they won like 55-10 in Miami.
That would cover here.
That would cover everything. Yeah.
Yep. Depending on what side you're on. I'm going to go ahead and take Miami plus 10. I don't know. It just feels like
a little gut feeling.
I hate the pick. As soon as I fucking take it.
You want to go back?
No. We stick to our guns here on the podcast, except when we don't.
Especially when we don't.
I don't know. It just feels like a lot of points to try and win a football game by. I mean, you saw at Miami, they stuck in it, or they beat New England, and New England just gave Tampa. I don't know. 10 points is a lot of points. It's a gut feeling kind of thing. And I will just jump right into Shelby's, which is going to make my bet feel a little bit better. He also has Miami plus 10.
You know what? Brian Flores and Tom Brady played him a lot in practice, as Bill Belichick would attest to. So.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the first time we've seen Tom Brady, so fuck you.
Yeah. And this is a shout out to Shelby. I'm going to just go ahead and not write any of these down because I know he's going to listen to this podcast because he wasn't on it.
Oh, that's fucked up. Here, I'll write it down.
And he will write this shit down. I just ran out of room on my tiny little paper, and I don't feel like ripping off another one. So he's got Miami plus 10, and here's his reasoning. New England off its regular season Super Bowl surviving Bill Belichick and Foxborough.
Article for each pick?
He said New England. I think he meant Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay coming off its regular season Super Bowl, surviving Bill Belichick and Foxborough. Easy letdown spot, and now a former Belichick assistant gets the chance to try to slow him down. No one uglier than Miami in Week 4, arguably, but Tampa Bay's cluster secondary injuries are enough to keep the back door open all afternoon. Makes me feel better about plus 10. Scotty, thoughts before we move on?
No, I just like that I guessed the stat that Shelby also used about Flores.
All right,
I'll take that.
Yeah, we will move on to Tennessee at Jacksonville.
Go ahead, Zach. You go first.
Hot off the motherfucking presses. There is drama a brewing in the party town of Jacksonville. I would have expected this kind of behavior in this butthole of a city, in a butthole of a state, but he did it in Columbus. So who knows what's going on here? Even before the controversy, I would have said Tennessee minus 4.5. Jacksonville just looks bad, and I think Tennessee is getting undervalued because of kind of some things that are happening. We had a fluke game against the Jets. They're going to be coming off of that real fucking pissed because the Jets are arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL. I would say they're worse. Despite having a win, they're worse than Detroit. Worse than Houston, in my opinion. And I think Derrick Henry runs all over these clowns. They run them out of the building. I am on Tennessee minus 4.5.
Do you say Jacksonville has a win?
No. I was talking about the Jets. Despite them having a win, I think that they just lost to the worst team in the NFL.
Right.
So I like Tennessee minus 4.5. It's another one of those things. Is like feels like this should be like 6.5. But I think we're getting value on Tennessee because they just lost to the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion. But that's just me.
This year,
I will. Do you want to go? You want to go last, or you want to?
Yeah, give me Shelby's pick.
Yeah, so Shelby's got the over 48.5.
Okay.
So we'll probably love Jacksonville when this gets up to plus 6 before the game. But as for right now, Tennessee getting playmakers back, hopefully on offense. Trevor Lawrence should move the ball against bad Tennessee defense, and Tennessee offense won't allow 7 sacks this week like they did against the Jets because Jags struggled to rush the passer. That's his pick. Over.
A little statski I threw in today. Teams that are back-to-back are on the second of a back-to-back road game are like 9-2 against the spread this year.
Get right games.
Get right games. Tennessee lost, and especially if you lost the previous game. And I'm not even saying like you had to win or lose the first game. If you go into the second game in general, you're 9-2. Now, if you lost the previous game, you're 9-1. I think Shelby sent that. So, give me Tennessee -4.5 all fucking day here. I think that loss to the Jets is fraudulent. Yeah, I think Jacksonville is a dumpster fire. I think Urban Meyer's on his way out. I don't think any of the players trust him. You can't trust your coach. How are you going to play hard for him?
Yeah, he's foot is halfway out the door and halfway in the door in Southern California.
Dude, you never want to hear.
If you ask me,
I don't even care if I don't get this pick right. The fact that there were reports and tweets that said like Urban Meyer adjusted the team and apologized, and as soon as he walked the door, his players like laughed at him. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I will fade that motherfucker for the rest of my life.
I saw a video from practice where they were like about to break the huddle, and they said 1, 2, 3, grind, and I thought that was pretty funny. So I don't know if that was intentional or not. Me too. All right, next game, a game in which I will be present for in Cincinnati. Green Bay, the Pack come to town with a surprising spread of 3, if you were to ask me. I'm going to go ahead and let Shelby kick this one off because it is his team.
He's taking the
Packers,
right?
Of course, nope. The coward won't touch the spread. He's going over 51. Wow. And he says because Bengals defense is new and improved, but have faced 3 straight below-average passing attacks in Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Jacksonville. Gave up 24 versus Minnesota in Week 1. I think Green Bay gets more. Shelby says that, not me. I disagree. I think they get more than that.
Even
on the other side, Green Bay dealing with cluster injuries on defense, with Smith on injured reserve, and now lockdown quarter Jair Alexander is going to miss the game. And as I'm typing this, they just lost pass rusher Chauncey Rivers to a torn ACL. Although he said they got Smith on defense. So Bengals should get wide receiver Higgins back. He better be, since he was breakdancing last Thursday night. I will follow that up with my pick, and it's Packers -3. I don't care what's going on defense. It's going to come down to the quarterbacks, and Burrow is just not there yet. I don't think it's going to take him long to get on that level. I am high on Joe Burrow, but in year 2, where he didn't play a full 1 year, Rodgers is going to be able to beat him by at least a field goal, I think. Zachy pushes worst case scenario. I love Packers -3.
Yeah, and to comment on the T. Higgins breakdancing, Shelby actually went to the last Thursday night game against the Jaguars, and in the stands,
we have back-to-back Bengals attendances on the podcast.
Yeah, we do. That's true. Shelby saw T. Higgins just breakdancing while he was injured on the sideline. So,
Shelby was like 7 rows back or something like that.
Yeah, behind the Bengals bench, right? Perfect spot. What a chill night. Got to go into Sunday with a clean slate, no stress. He might have to stress about this one though, because I got the under 51 crossfire.
Okay, crossfire. So we have our first crossfire between Scotty and Shelby.
I think that. I mean, I like both offenses. I think the Bengals are. Shelby hates giving his team credit when it comes to defenses, but I think they're improved. I think they'll stay in the game. Rodgers, I think, will score enough and maybe win. Bengals like late cover, but I think this game is like a little bit chippy, and I think it's like a 24-21 kind of victory.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I think it's one. I mean, I like the under 2 because I think it's one-sided. I think Green Bay wins. I think that they could win like 31-10.
Okay.
So, but I love the spread more in case of backdoor shit where you backdoor garbage time. Bengals points hits the over.
Well,
so
garbage only hurts me when I bet the unders. So that tallies. Right. If I have the over, like it's like okay, well it's 2 minutes left. I need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, an onside kick, and another touchdown. Points
are only scored when you're sweating them to happen. They are never scored.
I never have my feet up. You're like what? Right. Like for an over under or a prop. Well, except for Robert Woods tonight. Yep. But they hit the first
almost
the set first quarter.
Yeah, well, his receptions hit the first half. The first catch of the second half hit his reception yards.
You know what's weird? I got graded out for both of them at halftime.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't get graded. I didn't get graded for my Russell Wilson interception until the end of the game. So, who knows what's going on there? All right, next game: New York Giants at Dallas. Spread set at 7 even as of right now. Over under at 50 even. Kick us off here, Scotty.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like Dallas, and I love Dallas, dude. But this is a classic trap. Divisional game in Dallas. I think it's the first. No, it's not the first. But if this game was in prime time, I would take.
Yeah, you forgot that Dallas played Division I AA team, Philadelphia.
You know what? Now that I'm saying this, this is the 1 year anniversary to the date. This game is, I think, to the date. Don't fucking quote me on that. That Dak Prescott broke his ankle against the very team he's facing in the same stadium.
And you know what? Because this is a podcast of narratives, I won't shit on your parade. Shelby's not here to do it, and so I won't do it either. I'll say that's exactly right. I won't come in with my facts and figures and try to fuck up your mojo, because that's something Shelby would do, and I would never do that. So,
what's your angle here, Zach?
I agree with you.
Oh, you like Dallas?
I think that, we can get to my pick here for this game, but I'm saying I agree. Right, I just agree that this is the absolute. This is absolutely to the day, to the minute, to the hour, the anniversary.
Shelby Beck, actually,
I'm not going to fact check you. Right, exactly. The Oscar of our podcast, Shelby Dermer, would be like, actually, you should kill yourself, because he's the best friend you could ever ask for.
That's true.
And you know what? We're punching down because he's not here to defend himself. But I can guarantee you, he's gonna rip us a new one while we're still asleep, and he's on his way back from Fort Recovery, at like 6 a.m. Because the guy has old man hours.
Give me the Giants +7.
Giants +7.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. There's just so many. It's a whole touchdown. I'll push even.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think Danny Dimes is like looking good. I mean, they've lost the games, but I mean they've covered in except for the Broncos, they've covered in damn near every one. I mean, I think they were 2.5 favorites against the Falcons, but other than that, so they're 2-2 in covering.
Yeah.
But Danny Dimes has looked good. I think how soon into the game is the announcer like, oh, I bet the Cowboys missed Jalen Smith there, you know? So I think Giants +7 is the right way to go. I don't like it though.
All right. Well, we have our back-to-back crossfires between you and Shelby, because we have.
Well, now it's gonna be a Dallas.
Yeah, he's got Dallas -7, and here's exactly why.
God.
Power rankings make the game -10 for Dallas, who are enjoying their third straight home game. Defense should give Giants fit as long as they stop Saquon. New York Giants with a misleading win at New Orleans with Saints missing field goal, failing on 4th and short inside Giants territory, and giving up touchdowns to a Giants offense they typically lacks firepower. New Orleans led 21-10 with 8 minutes left, and they had the ball. So he likes Dallas -7. And in the interest of avoiding a triple crossfire, and it's the pick that I loved all along, I like the under 50 here. Again, this is a similar situation like I was detailing with Green Bay and Cincinnati. I think it's a one-sided affair a la Dallas. But again, 7 with the opportunity to push on a one-score touchdown game. I just feel more comfortable taking the under 50. Anything else on this game, Scotty?
No, I just want to move on. I hate it.
Yeah, I think this might be my least favorite on the board.
Besides the next one.
I love this game. I love this game. So I'll kick it off.
Okay.
San Francisco at the last undefeated team in Arizona. So props to those folks in Vegas who had Arizona. They're cashing in their tickets for Arizona to be the last undefeated team.
No one.
Right. ±5 over unders also set at 50. the over-unders here are following a trend. They're all right around that 50 mark, except for the last one. We'll get to that later. I like... God. I don't like anything. And the more
I thought you said you
it's
liked
going to
it.
be... I'm excited to watch the game. I don't know how to feel. That's my problem.
You know what Shelby says? If you're so unsure but you're excited to watch the game, just root for points and take the over. And every time he says that, the under hits.
Yeah. So
I don't have any advice for you.
What I'm gonna do here is we'll just go for a 2-for-1. I will tail Shelby since the bad guys always win at San Francisco +5, and I will also tail his.
We have a consensus.
I will also tail his explanation and say that Arizona can't stop the run, and that's what San Francisco does best. Confident that Kyle Shanahan will cook up new scheme with Trey Lance that will cause Arizona fits with no real tape on the kid. Arizona's fast and happy after 17-point win at Rams. The 49ers have lost back-to-back games as home favorites. Easiest pick to fade the public on. +5. We have a consensus, and we will move on from that unless you have something else you'd like to say.
Over.
Okay.
Also like the over,
Sure.
but I'm taking +5.
I think the problem there is that San Francisco's defense will do better at do the best that anybody has done so far this season at containing Kyler Murray.
But my fear is their receivers are so fast and talented for Arizona, and like San Francisco's DBs, as you saw against like the Packers, just can't cover, just cannot.
But the Packers don't have a defensive front that can nearly even rival San Francisco. The defensive front is what kept the game. I feel like kept the game so close until the end, where Jimmy Garoppolo could take advantage of a tired and poor Packers secondary.
I had the over, so I was just like, throw it. So I didn't even fucking pay attention.
All right. Last game before we get into our bonus lock and all the extra shit that goes along with that. We have the Sunday night game, Buffalo at Kansas City. And I will start with Shelby here. His pick, Buffalo, +2.5. And here's his reasoning. So it goes against my cardinal rule of never taking +2.5, but I'd be on Buffalo money line. Bills' defense could be one of the league's best and head and shoulders above Kansas City's. Nobody would argue that. If Kansas City's offense is just a smidge better than Buffalo's, the Bills' defense upgrade over Kansas City's defense makes Buffalo the better team. Should be pick'em in his opinion. Scotty, how do you feel?
Let's hear yours first.
Okay, I'll go with mine. It's under 56.5.
Okay.
And there's no rhyme or reason. No, I'm not going to throw any stats at you because I never do. It's the whole feel is coming from all the
you
ads
want a
that I've
handicap?
seen for this
You're
game.
not fucking getting
Right.
it. You're getting
Here's
slacks.
Here's my slacks handicap. Trademark that. It's all these ads I've seen where they're like, Sunday Night Football, with quarterbacks like these, you could only hope but to air it out. And I'm like, bro, this is like, if there ever was a fade the public moment, it's to take the under 56.5. Me personally, with my own pocketbook money, I will wait until 10 minutes before. We talked about this before the podcast. I'm going to wait to the very last second to take the under because I think it will scoot up as the degenerate bettors are trying to gain all their losses back from the day. With Sunday night games, you should always wait unless you love something right now because you feel like you have an edge. You should wait until the last second because the lines are going to move dramatically. I'll say it like this: Sunday night lines are like weather in Ohio. If you don't like it, just wait 10 minutes. It'll move. All right, Scotty, hit me with your best shot.
Nothing says that I'm a degenerate sports gambler like letting a commercial decide what line you're gonna take. I love it. That's great. I'm taking Kansas City -2.5 crossfiring Shelby.
Crossfire. You guys have 3 crossfires.
And you know what? If this game doesn't hit, I'll be like happy, right? Because it's Kansas City. If Buffalo wins, that's great.
Yeah.
But it's in Kansas City. I think this is just I like the Bills teased. I do. But I think this is the game where Kansas City, like everyone like counts them out. They think that they're not like. I mean, I know they're still favored or whatever. They're at home. But this is like, Kansas City is like found their footing. And I know their defense is pretty rough, but it just feels like the game that Mahomes just goes off and like proves.
Right. I agree with you there, and I will say this. Zachy Live Bullets will see if Buffalo gets the ball first and they go down and score a touchdown, like pretty quick, and the live moons pretty dramatically. If I'm just saying, if Kansas City is favored at any fucking point here, or the underdog at any fucking point here, I might take their live spread.
Yeah, I might do it. I feel like after this on Monday morning, I can just see the headline. He's like, Stephen A., did we sleep on the Chiefs a little bit more than we should have early? He's like, yeah, it's week 5, and whatever. I do a really good Stephen A.
But at the same time, I feel like
Shelby's just gonna fucking laugh.
The 13 wins is dead in the water.
He's gonna be laughing at me, not fucking with me.
Well, he can go fuck himself.
Okay.
Let's play. I'm gonna play. Shelby sent us an audio file of his bonus. And we'll go ahead and knock that out right now. I think it's pretty good.
Hey, Zach, before you do that, should we have said the records?
Yeah, why don't we jump into that real quick? Because I actually forgot to mention that. Yeah, so I went 3-5. Scotty went 5-3.
Don't say that all
surprising
the time.
Everyone. And Shelby went 4-4. So our records are Scotty 15-17. Shelby in the lead at 17-15, and Zach 13-19. All right, we will move right along.
Last place. That's all you need to know.
Okay, all right. Here is your boy's bonus. When I say your boy, I mean Shelby.
This is Nigel Fangsworth coming to you from London. I just finished up me crepes and crumpets. I looked up at the Big Ben Tower, and that clock tells me it's time to take the New York Jets +3 against the Atlanta Falcons at Wembley Stadium. This is a classic. My dad could beat up your dad pick. Between coaches this time, I think Robert Sala would wipe the floor or wipe a red phone booth with Arthur Smith, who doesn't even have a chin. London Bridge is falling down, and that's because the Jets are going to win it outright. I love the Jets going across the pond. 2 bad teams. Don't know who's going to win, so you take the points instead of laying a field goal with the dumpster fire that is the Falcons. I haven't seen a Mormon look this bad in the United States than Zach Wilson since Mitt Romney. I got you 47% right here. It's Zach Wilson going to London town across the pond, as Americans would say. Jets +3 bonus, Shelby.
Wow.
So I listened to that beforehand, and the funniest part of that whole thing is right at the end where he goes, "Oh!"
I like how he signs off Shelby, like, good.
Shelby. We didn't know because his accent was so good. We were like, who the hell is this mystery man? This Londoner. Who the fuck? What's all this then? All right.
I feel like I have to make it all back after that one with the Jets. Shit.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to do your bonus?
That was great, Shelby. Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
+1 or pick them, whatever you get it at.
We have a agreement, but different lines. It's a consensus. It's -0.5 as of right now.
Okay.
It's pick 'em.
Okay.
It's pick 'em.
Yeah.
Denver pick 'em.
Fine. That's my bonus.
love Denver pick 'em here. You and me both.
You know
buddy.
why it moved 1
and we
point
don't...
is because Teddy Bridgewater's back at practice and is on track to play.
And I couldn't love it more. I would take Pittsburgh at whatever the fucking spread is if Drew Lock has a little cock was starting. But because Teddy Bridgewater's back and it's at Pick'em, I love Denver here. I think Denver ends up probably winning or at least making it interesting if Teddy's in for that whole game last week. I will admit it right here in front of friends and family that I think Denver, if they were given the opportunity, could have pulled it out if Teddy was able to play that whole game.
Thank you.
There were dirty hits on both sides. I think everybody would have to, at least everybody besides us would have to agree. There was a lot of shit flying around. It's just Denver was unfortunate that theirs took Teddy out of the game. Even though Lamar got torpedoed in the back after already having back issues all week in practice. It is what it is.
I tried to hold it back. I couldn't do it.
I don't think it's football.
Sure is football.
It's never fair.
A couple football
It's
plays.
football. It's never fair. All right. Let's go with. Do you want? I can throw my lock in there. You remember what my pick was when lock of the week of the century started 2 years ago?
Browns to beat them. Yeah.
Titans money line.
6-point underdogs.
Okay. Yeah, we're staying on a similar trend here, except we're taking the points. Chargers -2 at Cleveland. I don't see how Cleveland is going to be able to stop their defense is going to be able to stop Chargers, let alone, I think it could be a 6, 7, 10-point win, but I'll take the -2 with a field goal win here. I think Cleveland looked bad against Minnesota, who really had every opportunity to come back and win that game. Cleveland kept giving them chances to come back, and they just didn't. Shouts out to the under there, which was a great pick by me last week as well. I love Chargers -2. I don't care that it's in Cleveland. It doesn't matter in that dumpster fire of a city. Scotty, what is your lock?
What's your record with lock of the week of the century?
We haven't gotten to my lock of the week of the century yet, but it is 0-4.
Oh, that's just your lock.
That's just my regular old lock. Just a regular old lock.
So I just crafted this lock. I don't even know why it's my lock, but it's my lock. It's Washington football team +2.5 against the Saints. Don't think the Saints are very good. They just lost to, and Tyler Heineke,
Taylor?
He's a fucking baller. Is it Taylor?
It's Taylor.
He's a fucking.
You got
baller.
his first name wrong and his last name wrong. Doesn't matter though. Like you could ask me what the quarterback's name is for Houston, and I would tell you it's probably Davidson Hillis. That's close enough.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington football team +2.5 at home. I think that they are overvaluing the Saints. I think my Saints pick at the beginning of the year didn't look good week 1, but the under 9.5 wins is starting to look like a lock here.
Yeah.
So.
And I know this whole time we've been talking about this while Shelby's listening to it as depressing drive home, is that you guys are on the same wavelength because he picked this game as well. He picked he didn't go with spread, he went with the over-under, but he went with the over 45.5, and here's his reasoning. Washington's defense has been the most underwhelming single unit in the NFL.
43.5 on the online book right now.
Even more reason to take it.
Great value.
Yeah, he's ahead of the curve here.
If he likes it.
Yeah, NFL based off of off-season projections. They refuse to blitz, which is weird, I think. That's not him saying that. That's just me. Which bodes well for Jameis. On the other end, Heineke overs is a thing because he's like a mini Ryan Fitzpatrick, putting the ball at risk, but gunslinging deep balls.
By the way, in our group.
Yep. Okay. Washington football team, he did put that in quotes, so...
Thank you. I just needed that.
He didn't credit you, but he did put it in quotes.
I'll take that.
Washington football team, Washington
Classic
football team offense.
Journalism move.
Washington football team offense gets upgraded with Samuel back from the IR. So that's his reasoning for his lock.
It's on 43.5 at Lawrenceburg too. So do you want to give him that?
Beautiful. It's a thing of fucking beauty. He could give it to himself because he's gonna be the one writing this shit down.
By the way, I forgot to write down all your picks after Miami +10. So, Shelby, I hope you're listening.
It doesn't matter. He will be listening. I mean, if he wants to keep track of this, he'll listen. Since he's the one in the lead, I guarantee you he will keep track. Because I'm losing, so I don't give a shit. All right.
That's a good way of
Let's
looking
move
at it.
right in to his tease and thank you.
Yep.
And I will preface his tease and thank you
4-0.
By saying it's completely worthless to us because the lines have moved already since he took this, conveniently enough for him. It's a 6.5-point 4-team teaser. You have New York Giants.
You were 4-0, by the way.
Yes, it is 4-0, by the way. Because he got it early. This is of no use to anybody listening to this, including us, so I don't know why I'm reading it, but I will because it'll hurt his feelings if I don't. New York Giants at Dallas -0.5. Dallas being -0.5, obviously. Buffalo +9 at Kansas City. Indianapolis at Baltimore. Baltimore -0.5. Then you Detroit at Minnesota -1. Good luck finding that line anywhere, unless you are Nathan. You can probably find Minnesota +8.
I think I remember them being 7.
With a 6.5-point teaser. So. Yeah.
Money's on Minnesota.
Yeah. So, again, like I said, this is of no use to anyone but Shelby's ego. Do you want me to hit my lock of the week of the century? Or you want to go party parlay first?
Nah, get your lock.
All right. It's 0-4, but this is our first win, and I went with more of a safe bet, especially since even though Cincinnati has a good record, they have not looked especially stellar in the first half. I'm going Green Bay -1.5 first half at Cincinnati. I got to get on the board somewhere, so I'm going with a safer pick, not something crazy. Like, I don't care what the line is. Just take his over on his player prop. We gotta
player props, by the way.
We gotta
Literally
get on the board here. So lock of the week of the century: Green Bay -1.5 first half at Cincinnati, and we will wrap it up with the party parlay, sir.
Yeah. So last week I was like, guys, I only have a 14 party parlay. It's like, I want to hit one, and you know what? It went 1 for fucking 3. So 1 and 3. 1 for 4, whatever. So I'm going balls out again. Fuck it. I put a little bit of juice on this.
Okay.
I don't care.
How many teams?
It's an 18 parlay.
Holy fuck.
And my lock is going to look so stupid after you hear. just
okay.
Listen.
Gotcha.
Falcons -3.5. Shelby already hates it. You can get a minus 2.5 now.
-2. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. Falcons -2.5.
Okay. -2.5. Gotcha.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers -10.
Is it at 2.5 right now? When we started, it was at 3.
It's at 2.5 right now. -120. Yep.
Lawrenceburg says 3. I'm going to write down 3.
Okay. That's fine. 3.
-3. You got it. Next one.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers -10.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers -4 against the Eagles.
Okay.
And then you got the Saints to just win. Hate that pick. I fucking hate that pick.
I love it. I think they win.
Good.
He's like, oh God, good. You should probably hate it then. If I love it.
Titans money line.
Okay.
Just to beat the Jaguars.
2 money lines.
Vikings.
Okay.
The last 4 are all money lines.
Okay. Vikings.
So Titans money line, Vikings money line, Packers money line, Raiders money line.
Packers.
So that's the Titans to beat the Jaguars, the Vikings to beat the Lions, the Packers to beat the Bengals, and the Raiders to beat the Bears.
Hey, Scotty, real quick, what are the odds on this?
It's going to be a plus 5,678.
Holy fuck.
Clean $25 wins you $1,500.
Holy fuck. Okay. That's incredible.
Proceed with caution.
Or don't and put the mortgage on this because
100.
Sure, it'll suck if you're missing your mortgage payment because you bet it on this bullshit 8-teamer. But imagine,
give yourself a shot.
Imagine if it hits.
Imagine it hits.
Imagine, because one of these has to hit at some point. There's no way we go 18 weeks and not one of these, not a single one hits. There's no way.
And you know what? If I made the parlay now, it would look totally different. But I have to trust my gut at the beginning of the week. I look at these, I'm like, oh, these could all very well easily happen. And I mean, now look at me. Like the only picks that I'm starting to go, I'm like the Falcons -3.5 and the Saints are my 2.
You know,
but I love him. I can't. But now I'm like fading Shelby's fucking thing.
You know, personally, I'm surprised that Vegas will let you take this. It just it seems like
I think handing out money.
They're playing themselves by letting you take something that looks this good.
I'm saying, but I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
Yeah, and
Titans
also Carolina.
in
I'm going to change this. Carolina's -3.5. They're now -4. So.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
I mean, who's better than you?
Nobody.
That sounds like it might be our show.
What's better than 7-0 when the first 7 picks hit of this party parlay? 8-0, baby.
Yeah. And Urban Meyer, what is better than 0-4? We will find out this weekend when they go 0-5. That's our show. Thank you so much for listening. Shelby, I hope you enjoyed this. Actually, I hope you don't enjoy this because you left us this evening to die in the muck. Oh. You know what? I'll be nice. I hope that your drive is just mid. Okay? Cool. We out. Love you all. Big kisses. See you next week.
All right. Here we go. There's a little place where the sun sleeps late and pulls himself a shot of tequila. It's a little place called Pleasure Island. That's where I'd like to feel ya. It's easy to find just beyond the last wave, where the dolphins and whales are up mating. Sail all day and all night and then take a hard ride. That's where I'll be awaiting. Pleasure Island, island of pleasure. No need to stop and think. Pleasure Island, a beautiful treasure. Come on down and have a drink.